Hello and welcome to episode number 52 of WITM, where we're going to have tag team action 6 days before capital punishment between the AA Hardcore Cruisers and the former Raw Tag Team Champions, Gallows and Anderson. And that will be a big match because the AA Hardcore Cruisers and Gallows and Anderson, following the rankings update, which I just did off camera because I forgot to do it in the last episode, Gallows and Anderson are currently the number one contenders to the Raw Tag Team titles. The AA Hardcore Cruisers sit at number 2, so a victory in this match could cement a future Raw Tag Team Championship opportunity for the winning team. But before that, as promised before, following the events of the debut episode of 205 Live, where Andrew successfully defended his Cruiserweight Championship against Finn Balor, Andrew was attacked backstage by the Beast Incarnate Brock Lesnar, who, of course, not being a cruiserweight, had no reason whatsoever to be backstage at 205 Live. We can only suspect that this has something to do with either A, Brock Lesnar being upset that he lost his Universal Championship to Andrew at Money in the Bank, or B, he was sent by the Authority, who, of course, the thought of Andrew being Universal Champion makes their blood boil, I am sure. So, to kick off this Raw, we have the fallout from what happened at 205 Live. Start off hearing from the Raw COO, Stephanie McMahon. Stephanie speaks. Last week, Andrew came out here and decided to issue an open challenge to the Universal title. Whoops. One moment. I'll start over. Last week, Andrew came out here and decided to issue an open challenge to the Universal title. I accepted that, because surely Andrew's reign won't last long if he's defending the title every week. But then I got to thinking about how Andrew tried so hard to put myself, my husband, and my brother out of our own business. I thought about how disgusted I am that even though the Purity Society was defeated at WrestleMania, Raw is headlined by the Universal Champion Andrew, 205 Live is headlined by the Cruiserweight Champion Andrew, and even my brother's show, SmackDown Live, is main evented week after week by a man who shouldn't even be in WWE after costing his friends the biggest match in WrestleMania history, the Intercontinental Champion Corey. Well, this is my show now. This isn't the Purity Society hour anymore, and these are my rules. So Andrew, I know you're listening back there. I have an ultimatum for you. For once in your career, Andrew, make the right decision. Surrender the Universal Championship. You've already had your glory days in ECW, and you could still live out the rest of your career here as a dominant Cruiserweight Champion, and perhaps down the line, United States Champion or Raw Tag Team Champion. Because, Andrew, if you try to continue on as Universal Champion, you and your friends will suffer the consequences. If you thought that attack after your Cruiserweight title match at 205 Live by Lesnar was bad, how will you feel when at the snap of my finger I send Aries back down to NXT where he belongs, and I make sure that Corey's next Intercontinental title defense will be impossible for him to win? Think about your health, Andrew. Think about your friends, Andrew. Do what's best for business. Come to this ring and hand over that Universal Championship. Andrew responds, "It amazes me how you continue to hold a grudge against me when I've kept my end of the deal and I haven't rebelled against you since WrestleMania. You know deep down that I'm the best wrestler on Raw right now. I've beaten everyone that you've thrown at me and climbed from the bottom of the rankings to becoming Universal Champion in just 3 months. I deserve to hold this title, and it is what's best for business. I want to be an inspiration for others and show everyone what a real champion is by putting the Universal title on the line in an open challenge each and every week. But Stephanie, you are the boss now, and I know how vindictive and conniving you really are. So, I'll hand this title over to you and vacate it tonight, under one condition. You know that Lesnar has no business being at 205 Live. And I know you sent him there to try to teach me a lesson. By the way, how'd that work out for you? I could easily file a complaint with the board of directors and gladly watch as a much more deserving person, like the Raw GM, hardcore legend Mick Foley, takes your place as Raw COO. But I have a better plan. I'll hand over this Universal title, but you will stop threatening me, stop threatening Austin Aries, and stop threatening Corey. No more jump attacks. No more vacating our titles that we earned. Next time a former member of the Purity Society becomes Universal Champion, we get to keep it until we are pinned or submitted for it, just like anyone else. And Andrew hands over his Universal title to Stephanie McMahon. Andrew is officially no longer Universal Champion, and the Universal Championship is vacant. Mr. Money in the Bank, John Cena speaks. Stephanie, this isn't right. You know it. I know it. The WWE Universe knows it. That Andrew deserves to be Universal Champion. So I would like to propose one of two options. Option 1, I give my Money in the Bank briefcase to Andrew, and he can get another Universal title match whenever he is ready. Option 2, I cash this Money in the Bank briefcase in real soon, and I become Universal Champion. And then at SummerSlam, I challenge Andrew, a man who I was proud to work for in ECW, to my first title defense. See if I can't fast forward here without going into the preview section. There we go. Stephanie responds to John Cena. John, how about option 3? I strip you of that Money in the Bank briefcase for getting involved in a matter that is none of your business. And siding with Andrew. But I'll tell you what. You want to waste your Money in the Bank briefcase and potential SummerSlam main event on Andrew? How about, since you both seem to be on the same page, I make you earn it. In 6 days at Capital Punishment, the Tree Huggers, Andrew and Aries, team up with Mr. Hustle, Loyalty, and Disrespect for Authority, John Cena, against 3 men of my choosing. If you win, you can have that Universal title match at SummerSlam against Andrew, if you successfully cash in your Money in the Bank briefcase before then. Plus, since it is the weekend, the 4th of July, in the spirit of freedom, I'll lift all sanctions against the Purity Society, or the former members of the Purity Society. The former Purity Society members will still be banned from gaining authority or rebelling against the authority. They will be free to hold any title that they earn in the future, and I will be sure to stop any attacks on them. But if you lose, you hand over that Money in the Bank briefcase, John. And Andrew, Austin Aries, and Corey are banned from ever becoming Universal Champion. Not only that, but I get the privilege of doing what I should have done a long time ago. I sent Andrew where he belongs, back down to NXT, where maybe then he'll learn to treat authority with some respect. Oh, and Andrew, I know you've had some issues in the past facing powerhouses, so at Capital Punishment, you are going to face 3 of them. Good luck.
Look at that girl there, hips, lips, hair, walks with a flair like she just don't care. Nobody do her like she do her. Self-made, so paid, do an actor. She stop, do, stare, chicks do too. Bout so.
Alright, so huge implications for Capital Punishment. First of all, to recap what just happened, first of all, Stephanie McMahon has changed her mind. There will be no Universal title open challenge. Andrew has been forced, thanks to the vindictive and conniving Stephanie McMahon, to surrender his Universal Championship without ever getting to defend it or be pinned or submitted for it. So Andrew is no longer Universal Champion. As for the Universal title, there will be a fatal 4-way match at Capital Punishment to determine a new Universal Champion. Also, at Capital Punishment in just 6 days, our next Raw and 205 Live exclusive pay-per-view. And the team of the AA Hardcore Cruisers, Andrew and Austin Aries, and John Cena, will take on a team of 3 men of Stephanie McMahon's choosing. The only thing we know about that team of 3 men is that they will be 3 powerhouses. As in the past, when Andrew has faced powerhouses such as Batista and Brock Lesnar, Andrew has suffered injuries to his body, and that has affected his in-ring performance and shortened his career. The stipulation for that match, if the team of the AA Hardcore Cruisers and John Cena wins, Andrew will get another opportunity to become Universal Champion at SummerSlam in the main event against John Cena, should he be able to successfully cash in his Money in the Bank briefcase before then and become Universal Champion himself. Also, with the exception of the Purity Society no longer being able to gain authority or rebel against the current authority, all sanctions against the Purity Society would be lifted. That means no longer would the Purity Society members be forced to vacate titles like in the past, where Andrew just gave up his Universal title in Season 2 when Corey was forced to surrender his ECW World Heavyweight title. As well as, which means the Purity Society members can use any gimmick that they choose, any entrance team that they choose, without any repercussions from the authority, as well as there will be no more people sent by the authority to attack former members of the Purity Society, as we saw at 205 Live when Lesnar jumped to attack Andrew at Stephanie's command. However, if the 3 superstars chosen by Stephanie wins, John Cena will be stripped of his Money in the Bank briefcase. And Andrew, Corey, and Austin Aries will be banned from ever becoming Universal Champion in the future, as well as Andrew, despite him being on a roll and doing some of the best wrestling of his career and being a 103 overall, will go down to the very bottom of the rankings, number 25 in NXT, and it will take him, going past 24 other superstars, it would likely take him quite some time to find his way back to the main roster, where if he goes back to Raw, he would be banned from becoming Universal Champion. So a lot at stake, a lot on the line at Capital Punishment, but that is 6 days away. I'm sure that will be in the back of Andrew's mind, but for now, him and Austin Aries must turn their focus to Gallows Anderson. Not only will this be a tune-up match for their big tag team match at Capital Punishment, but a lot should the WA Hardcore Cruisers and Cena win a victory here for the Hardcore Cruisers would likely secure them a future title match against Raw Tag Team Champions Enzo and Cass, as the WA Hardcore Cruisers currently sit at number 2 in the Raw Tag Team rankings, and Gallows Anderson sit at number 1. So whoever wins this match will likely face Enzo and Cass for the Raw Tag Team titles at Capital Punishment, or at a future Raw. As Andrew, I'm not going to book Andrew in about 3 different matches because at Capital Punishment, because he'll likely defend his Cruiserweight title there as well. So if the WA Hardcore Cruisers and Cena win at Capital Punishment, and the Hardcore Cruisers win this match, I'll likely postpone that Raw Tag Team title match until a future Raw. Probably the Raw after Capital Punishment. So that Andrew isn't triple booked at Capital Punishment, because that's not very realistic. Anyway, enough talking. Let's get this show started. We start off with a promo from Curt Hawkins, and then Curt Hawkins takes on Dolph Ziggler. And why can't I send that match? Oh, I had to send the promo first. Okay. And Curt Hawkins, surprisingly, has been on quite a roll lately. Last week, he defeated Dean Ambrose in a huge upset. This week, he defeats Dolph Ziggler. Curt Hawkins was in danger of demotion. It looks like he will be safe. Naomi takes on Raw Women's Champion Emma, and it's a victory for the Raw Women's Champion Emma. Naomi, also a member of the demotion relegation zone. It looks like Naomi will likely head down to NXT following Capital Punishment. The Raw Tag Team Champions Enzo and Cass take on the Vaudevillains, and it's going to be a victory for Enzo and Cass. Titus O'Neil takes on United States Champion Zack Ryder in Falls Count Anywhere action. And it's going to be a victory for the United States Champions. So it's a good Raw so far for defending champions. Bray Wyatt takes on Braun Strowman and Apollo Crews. And it's a victory for the former Universal Champion, Bray Wyatt. He'll be one of the men getting opportunity to get that now vacant Universal title at Capital Punishment. And now it's time for tag team action. This will not matter if Andrew gets sent down to NXT following a loss at Capital Punishment, but should Andrew's team win and Andrew remains on Raw, this will have number 1 contendership implications, so could be a match here that could have future number 1 contendership implications. The WA Hardcore Cruisers, who have gone in just a short month from the bottom ranked tag team on Raw to the second contender to the Raw Tag Team titles, with a chance here to become the number 1 contender. It's the WA Hardcore Cruisers versus Gallows Anderson. Let's get started.
Buckle up, because we have a contest that's going to blow the roof off this place.
I hope it's not raining outside.
We have one of the best talents on the roster to date against an imposing adversary.
Yes, sir.
Listen up, there's not a moment to
fully loading screen. The entire Raw theme, which is a 3-minute song, played before the match loaded. Wow. Anyways, let's get started.
The following tag team contest is scheduled for one fall. Introducing first, one man from Grand Rapids, Michigan. Weighing in at 165 pounds, the WWE Cruiserweight Champion,
Looking to make a mark here in the tag team division.
and his partner from Minneapolis, Minnesota, weighing in at 202 pounds, Austin Harris.
Two teams will enter, but only one will leave as the victors. You'd be hard-pressed to find a better tag team match than we're about to see here.
And their opponents, at a combined weight of 440 pounds, Roush, Gallows, and Anderson. The Bucks.
These two teams are ready to put it all out there for the WWE Universe. Oh man, I'm really looking forward to this tag team match.
Alright, so should the AA Hardcore Cruisers and Cena win at Capital Punishment, and they win this, and the AA Hardcore Cruisers win this match, they will likely get a Raw Tag Team title match against the Raw Tag Team Champions Enzo Amore and Big Cass. So, and of course, the AA Hardcore Cruisers want to keep their hot streak going here in this match. So, losing this match and breaking, and Andrew Daly's breaking their win streaks, their momentum and hot streaks, give them their character stat boost, could be pretty devastating with how important that match at Capital Punishment is. So, in some ways, this is pretty much a must-win match for the AA Hardcore Cruisers against the former Raw Tag Team Champions Gallows and Anderson. And of course, Gallows and Anderson, former members of the club, along with AJ Styles, would love nothing more than to, of course, become Raw #1 contenders to the Raw Tag Team titles and break that hot streak that Aries and Andrew are on. Both teams, former teams, are familiar with each other as they were both teams in ECW in Season 2. Anderson with a face buster now tags in Luke Gallows. Anderson continues to try to attack Andrew. Gallows accidentally attacking Anderson when he was trying to reach Andrew for a grapple. And now Anderson will return to the apron. Reversal by Andrew. Leg sweep, and now Andrew tags in Austin Aries, who could find himself with a United States Championship opportunity at Capital Punishment or in the future. He currently sits at number 3 in the U.S. title rankings. Gallows up to the middle rope, but Andrew, good ring awareness with the kick there to knock Gallows down. Nice reversal there by Aries into a pin. But of course Gallows is going to power out almost instantly early in this match. Aries, Gallows, and Anderson will all have future official renders in the game in the future and future DLCs. Hopefully they will release that soon. But the cause I have of Aries, Gallows, and Anderson are all pretty good. I'm wondering why Gallows and Anderson's heads are shining.
This match has been so evenly contested so far.
Because they went a little bit too liberal on the baby oil.
One of these guys to take hold of this match.
Reversal by Andrew. DDT to Anderson. Andrew tags Aries back in. Hardcore Cruisers making frequent use of tags in this match, and now Aries with a brief armbar lets Nocta turn that into a submission.
He's starting to feel it here. He needs to create.
And now Aries looking to take flight. Could be thinking 450 splash. Instead he'll go for an elbow drop quickly before Gallows can cut him down. Aries earning the cheers of the WWE Universe.
He's pulling out all the stops tonight.
Anderson was going for a DDT, but Aries reversed it. Now locks in the last chancery. This has made other tag teams tap out before. Will this lead to a victory for the Hardcore Cruisers? No, Anderson is able to break the hold. We don't see very many people break the last chancery, but Carl Anderson was able to do so. Suplex by Gallows.
He gets out of trouble there.
Reversal by Aries.
He was able to reverse that. Dropped. And that was a
Spinning back fist by Gallows. Powerbomb by Gallows.
Trying to get under his
And a
opponent's
kick.
skin with this one.
Gallows into the Hardcore Cruisers corner. Tries to stomp the head of Aries, but Aries is able to evade. Punch by Gallows. And Gallows just tosses Aries to the side. Considers tagging Anderson, but elects to continue his offense. Now goes to the middle rope, wisely staying away from Andrew, who was able to take him off the ropes previously, but Aries was up to his feet, so he looks to come down regardless. Suplex by Gallows. And now he will tag in Carl Anderson. Punch by Gallows. Or rather Anderson. Irish whip into the corner. Aries in a bad position, the Tree of Woe, and he gets a boot to the face, courtesy of Carl Anderson, as Gallows on the apron taunts the WWE Universe. Anderson goes for cover, and Aries powers out at 1.5. Irish whip into the Gallows Anderson corner. Reversal by Aries. Attacking the leg of Anderson. Now looking to take flight. Could be thinking either diving elbow or 450 splash. It's the 450 splash right into a cover. And it's going to put Gallows Anderson away. It is. Andrew with the nice save there, keeping Gallows away from breaking up the pin. And it's a victory for the AA Hardcore Cruisers.
Here are your winners, champion, Andrew, and
Absolutely amazing. We knew we'd go the ending of this tonight. I mean, there's absolutely no way to underscore how big this victory is, perhaps the biggest in his career.
I gotta agree with you, Cole. The biggest in his career. Sometimes you step into the ring and, well, just refuse to lose. I think that's what we saw here in this match.
And that's the kind of action we've come to expect here on Raw. What an amazing
Another
match.
glitchy victory celebration. I really wish they would fix that. But anyways, now that kind of adds more implications to that six-man tag team match at Capital Punishment, because should Cena and the AA Hardcore Cruisers win at Capital Punishment, the AA Hardcore Cruisers get a future Raw Tag Team title shot, most likely against Enzo and Cass. However, if the Hardcore Cruisers and Cena lose at Capital Punishment, then Andrew will be going to NXT. He will not be able to tag with Aries, and they will not get that title, that Raw Tag Team title shot, and will instead likely go to Gallows Anderson. John Cena takes on Braun Strowman, who was double booked for some reason. The Strowman accompanied by the rest of the Wyatt family. And it's a victory for John Cena. So both the AA Hardcore Cruisers and John Cena keeping their momentum going, falling into that very important match at Capital Punishment. Just give me a moment to write down the results here. Alright, our next event is SmackDown Live, though he will not be able to participate in that match since since it will be at a Raw pay-per-view. This match does have potential implications for Corey, as if the AA Hardcore Cruisers and Cena lose at Capital Punishment, Corey, should he ever go to Raw, cannot become Universal Champion. So, you know, Corey will be at his hotel or wherever he is on Sunday night watching that match on the WWE Network, praying that it's a victory for the Purity Society, or rather, the AA Hardcore Cruisers and Cena. Alright, so on SmackDown Live, we have a promo from Alexa Bliss, a triple threat between Big Show, Sami Zayn, and Randy Orton. The Usos taking on the Golden Truth. Eva Marie, the SmackDown Women's Champion, taking on Aaliyah in non-title action. Cesaro and Sheamus taking on the Shining Stars. Seth Rollins versus Jinder Mahal. And we have a rematch of last week's SmackDown Live, which was a Falls Count Anywhere match between the Intercontinental Champion Corey and the WWE Champion Finn Balor. And I'm going to venture a guess that it will be Falls Count Anywhere again, and that is the case. So, Finn Balor with another opportunity to was number one contender to the Intercontinental title. He with his loss last week to Corey, that no longer is the case. But Finn Balor with a chance to redeem himself and become number one contender once again by winning this rematch. All right, so that will be our match for episode 53. For episode 52, this is Corey signing off.